Look around you, where you are right now. As you're watching this, look around your house. There are tools you have you're not using that can actually fetch you a whole lot of funds.
Forget about what people are saying. Don't listen to what people are saying. What people say about you or think about you is none of your business.
Many entrepreneurs want to build a business at the same time feed from the business. It cannot work. In Lagos,
but you just get to do something. Stop waiting for the manna to fall from heaven.
Never you at any point think you have 100% strength. It's not possible. So as a leader, you focus on your strength 100%, then your weakness, you get someone to fill it in. Now, the person you are bringing in, ensure that the person's weakness is your strength.
You have to come with something to the table. So what are you coming with as a woman? What are you bringing? Is it your intellect? Is it your beauty? We all know that beauty doesn't help anybody. If not, I'll be where Dangote is today.
Please, if you are listening to me, don't try and sell what is not sellable if you don't have the funds to push it.
Thank you for connecting with Simeon Ononobi today. Live sessions hold every Tuesday and Friday at 5 p.m. Please turn on post notifications for live updates.
Hello, everyone. This is Simeon Ononobi, co-founder, CEO at Connected Analytics. You also know us, Thank You Cash. And this is another show another episode of the show, Connect with Simeon. And I'm going to be bringing a wonderful guest today. Someone that is doing us proud across Africa, someone that is doing us proud across Nigeria. He's just one young dude, unassuming, very lovely guy to talk to, very lovely guy, very great vision. But hey, he started from somewhere. He struggled just like the rest of us. And today he's here to talk about his story. He's talking about, how he started, what he's doing, and how he's helping Nigerians and Africans get on that world map. We're not all about fraud, or we're not all about, creating unknown wealth. We're there to actually change this continent, Africa, and we can only do it by ourselves. Before I bring him into the studio, I also have great news. We just launched connected with Simeon's Connected Analytics, a mobile app called Thank You Cash. We just launched it on the iOS store and the Play Store. You get free cash backs, you get freebies on products that you buy on the store. And just hurry up to the Play Store and iOS store and enjoy. I'm going to be talking more about it later in the show as we wait for more people to join. So I'm going to be bringing into the studio today John Oke. I hope I pronounced it right, John.
Yeah, it's actually okay.
Okay, it's John Oke. He's not an Igbo man. He's John Oke. Yeah. So in studio with me is John Oke, CEO Wallets.Africa. Let me not make a mistake. Wallets.Africa. There's an S, and he's doing amazing stuff. He just launched in Kenya. I heard he's in Kenya, and I heard he's going across Africa. He's doing some amazing stuff. I saw his I saw the transaction volumes the other day, and I'm like, whoa, those are billions of naira. Like, this guy is turning up. He's really doing some great, amazing stuff. I was going to be talking about that today. John, how is COVID?
It's a very interesting time for the world at large. I have been very concerned about our own communities, older people. We are very communal people in Africa, and we kind of don't know how those social distancing thing works. So I've been a bit concerned. But other than that, things are good. It's a good time for digital businesses. We are seeing lots of traditional businesses try to go digital, especially now, and we've been helping with that. So that's the summary.
Good, good, good. So this program is all about showcasing great minds, people that you probably never hear about. You hardly ever hear about them. All you hear about is the people buying Bentleys with monies that are stolen and stuff. And that's not Africa. Africa has amazing entrepreneurs, amazing staff, amazing investors, amazing people, and we need to showcase these people. And this is what all the show is about. So we're going to push this video on YouTube, and we're going to post it and get people to know more about Africa and what we're doing. And today we're showcasing you. You've been an amazing person. I mean, I know you for years now, and I've seen what you've done. And it is good we talk about it. So, I mean, people say, hey, John just came out from nowhere. Hey, he owns a company called Wallets on Africa. Like he never struggled. He never had, the same headaches we have in Africa. He probably had it good. He probably had, everything on his fingertips. He didn't struggle and stuff like that. But we know that's not the story. We know there's a story. There's a hard work that has gone into this. Tell us, who is John Oke?
Right. Thank you very much for the intro, Simeon. I like to think lots of the things that we're able to do at Wallet would have been possible if you didn't fund Simple Pay or the work that you've done in the past. So thank you, Simeon. So John, myself, math enthusiast. I just like mathematics, and I wanted to work in a bank. And luckily, I was able to pick up software along the way. And I realized after working in a bank for a few months back in 2013 that I wanted to actually work with startups in financial services instead. The chief reason was I was allowed to dress anyhow. So I made that switch then. Behind the scenes, I just read books. That's what I do with my time. I think that's most people who know me know that that's the key characteristic. I also like working on really difficult ideas, and I feel like there's a reason lots of people avoid some ideas, and I just try to push on those parts. Then I like to think I am a Pan-African man. So for the most part, our whole continent, before it was like restructured into countries who were tribes and kingdoms, and were very similar. You could move to like the east and become an Igbo man after a few generations. And I like to think the things that unite us are way more than the things that divide us. So mathematics guy, startups guy, and Pan-African in that order.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I just want to make a small correction. It's Wallets, not Wallets.
Yeah, it's Wallet.
It's Wallets, CEO of Wallets Africa. So, you struggle just like the rest of us. Day to day, I mean, you don't have power. You didn't have funding. You probably, out of pocket started a company with friends. I mean, take us through that journey. How? I mean, I know at some point you said, "Hey, this thing is not for me. This is too hard," but you keep going. So take us through that journey, because people, I want people to see that hard work. It's not all joy. It's not all famzine. It's not all having fun. There is hard work to it. So I mean, a lot of us struggle. Like, I mean, it's taking me like 3 months to even build an app that that would help digital economy. But you went through the same struggles. What were these struggles like? Like, take us through you. Who is John? Like, how did you go through these struggles? How did you deal with go slows in Lagos? How did you for an apartment to even start? I know where you struggled, but I want people to hear this story.
All right. So like there's the first part, like the part before Lagos, where I was born in like a small southwest town, Oshobo. I was lucky though because my folks had computers and typewriters. So I first of all fell into computing when I tried to use my mom's typewriter to type my essay. because I had a bad handwriting at school. That got me punished in school, but I realized I could use computers to solve my own problems. Um, when I got into university, I went with the thought of what's the closest thing I could do that's related to mathematics, that's not like maths major. So computer science, because of my love for computers, came in very handy. In school, I started using my computers to like install software for people, my colleagues, my friends, etc. And I was making extra money. I was helping them format their systems. Then I picked up C in 100 level. And by the end of 100 level, I was helping folks write their final year projects. In 200 level, I started writing C++ and a couple of things. Uh, I worked at a few firms then as just like an instructor. Then by 300 level, I was picked up by the bank, Wema Bank, to come work as an engineer. There, I was building business automation software. That was like my first time in Lagos. I was staying in the cotton then I was going to Marina. And so I was building business automation software, fraud detection tools at the bank. Then just right after we were about to complete school, my friends and I came up with this idea of building a library software for Nigerian universities. We deployed the first version for a local university then in Ilorin. I went to school at the University of Ilorin, and we deployed for Alikma, and we started sending our proposals to other schools, and that was my first full attempt at entrepreneurship just right after school. After a couple of months, we realized that our software doesn't scale because every time we have to deploy a new software for fresh school, it's like fresh set of requirements. So we put our money that we made from the software into a news aggregator company. So it's like think of it like what Flipboard or Google Newsstand is today. This was back in 2014, and we started using the bot to. This is very silly. So the bot will go to all the most popular websites in Nigeria and grab all their headlines and show it to users on the website and also via email. So we did this for about, we just wrote bots all night. That's what we just do. And just like show it to users the following day, they'd be excited. We grew that to like 2,000 users monthly, and we didn't realize we didn't know how to make any money. So we just didn't know software or startups, to be honest. Then we're just trying to figure out bread, and my friends and I, some of my friends lost motivation, and they started picking up actual jobs. And after a while, I was the only one working on the software. So I also started looking for a job. That was what led me to meet Mark at hotels. So I worked with Mark at hotels.ng as a contract engineer. I worked with him for about a month or two, uh, I built software to allow people support people in the back office upload details of hotels via a console app. Then a couple of months later, I interviewed with Sam, Oye, and Laudu at Sure Gifts, and I joined them as a C Sharp engineer. There, I worked on the back end, helped scale the company's infrastructure to two new countries, Rwanda and Kenya. Worked on mobile projects, etc. And these were not like really like um, blissful times. I feel like for a little bit of I like to think of myself as very ambitious, and all this while I was dealing with like a constant like trigger. Like, dude, you were living the time of your life when you were selling software to universities. Why aren't you doing like something similar? Why aren't you selling software? What are you doing? So I continued doing that. And I just kept on waiting for, a shot, an opportunity, an idea, something that's worth like resigning over. Uh, and I resigned from previous positions. So my family folks were like, is someone following you? What's going on with this this resignation that you're showing out every now and then? So while working with M-Pesa in Kenya, on M-Pesa in Kenya with Sure Gifts, I realized that almost all systems in the world are virtual systems, and we're all connected in this gigantic P2P network. And if I could build a wallet to do all my own transactions, be part of this network, then I could solve a problem that I had at that time. So my problem was simple. When I do transactions and they fail, banks do not reverse my transactions. So I have to reach out to them via Twitter or reach out to them, via email, and they ask me to come into the bank. Sometimes it takes 7 days to resolve the problem. So I just forget the money. Now, because I'm just busy, I'm a busy software guy. I don't have time for this. So it started as a side project. I said, let me build a wallet for myself. So I do my own projects, my own transactions. And but I didn't know anything about like the Nigerian financial system that much. I knew a little bit about banking, but I didn't know how the other third parties come to play with it. While at the bank, I was building fraud detection tools, so I wasn't really like in the nitty gritty of third party integrations. So I started another shop. This time, the shop was doing consulting for banks and fintechs. So we got a couple of nice banks in there. We got Wema back in there. We got Coronation Bank. We got UBA. We got InterSwitch, and I was just building software for them. And I was also building relationships because I still had a wallet at the back of my mind. I wanted to like build stuff on the wallet. Um, so I went in late 2016. I joined McKinsey and a bunch of really smart external consultants that were building the first fully digital bank in Nigeria, a lot. And I worked on a lot as a solutions architecture and backend engineer. And we built out, something really nice that could go live then as an MVP. And I learned a lot about core banking systems and how they integrate with third parties. So while I was there, I reached out to a couple of friends at InterSwitch etc. Do you guys have projects? And they said yes. So I switched to go work on projects there. The first project I worked on at InterSwitch was a preloadable prepaid code. So you could use the code at ATMs to withdraw cash. Pay code essentially. So I built a reward system for Nestle and Cadbury for them to be able to reward their customers with pay code. And from there, I was like, okay, this looks like I'm up to something. So I took that API from InterSwitch, took the Abila API, added it on my wallet system that I'd been building earlier. And in 2017, after a while, I was like, I'm just going to do this full time. So, and that's where it gets trickish because now there's no monthly salary or no gig, nothing's coming in now. So it's just all me, all my savings. So I'll tell you something that happened in the first week of me deciding to go live fully. I was being naive. I wanted anybody who had a card to be able to use the system. So that means international cards are accepted on the platform. That's a bad idea because on the first day, the first customer, I was like, oh man, he bought me on live support and I put a widget on the website that, hey, you can talk to me. So there was this guy that was like so excited. It was like, oh man, this is what I've been looking for. Like someone needed to have built this a long time ago. So it was like, I tell you something, can I use my international card to, load this wallet and do a transfer real quick? And I was like, yeah, man, of course, man. I'd forgotten that, and this is me. I'd built fraud detection tools. I've done all these things. So, but I was so excited that someone was using my product. So this guy used his card, a stolen card, to fund his wallet. It's an international card. And it was quite a lot of money. And we allowed the transaction go through. We withdrew it quickly to his bank. Everything was fine. I was expecting settlement the next day. Then, like 8 a.m. the following morning, I got an email from the card provider I was using then, chargeback. That was when it picked in my head that I just allowed a fraudster to game me. So I tried to reach out to like a bunch of providers I know, tried to stop the transaction. The money was already gone. I reached out to the GTB account. The branch he withdrew the money to the account. The account withdrew the money to.
John, yeah. Let's take a breather here. Guys, if you don't understand what we're talking about, like this guy that had worked for multiple companies, multiple banks, understood everything about fraud. but just was too excited to build a company that he forgot everything he knew about fraud. And he was gamed on the first day. He almost lost his company on the first day. So
there was no company. There was no company. There was no money.
Exactly. Three things I down here. So first, John went from, I have a dream. I'm going to do this because I have a problem. But before I solve my problem, I need to get some money in my pocket. So I'm going to go look for work. I'm going to go look for different things. So he didn't jump straight away to just, I'm going to solve my dreams. He made sure he had things. And along the way, two things were happening. He was gaining experience because he was traveling around. He was working in Kenya. He was working in Nigeria. He was working in different places, working with different solutions. So he was gaining experience. Guys, don't take this for granted. Gain experience. Gain as much experience as you can. Two things. The second thing was he was also getting relationships. He was meeting the head of Alat. He was meeting the head of Wema. He was meeting the head of InterSwitch. He was meeting different people, and he was boxing them in his address book somewhere. One day I'm going to use these guys. One day I'm going to meet these guys. So two major things. He was building his network, and at the same time, he was gaining experience. Guys, don't lose this. If you're going to watch this 1 year from now, two things that you get from the first 10 minutes of this interview, this chat is gain experience and also gain a network. And don't get scammed. Okay, so back to you, John.
Don't get scammed. So I'll just go script through right that. I used my savings to pay the card company back for the settlement.
Wow.
And I was like, this was like on day one, and I was down to like minus something. I had to like borrow money from my mom for rent.
I read
so
my friend like 17 million. I was hit by 17 million naira fraud like in one day. So I understand everything you're talking about.
So there was this guy that I was working with at the time. He was like my business partner, quote unquote. And he was like, yeah, shut it all down. We're not doing it again, etc. But you see, I've invested a little bit of time into this idea. I wanted to see what was going to happen to it. So I picked up my bag again. I didn't even know how VC works, so I had to raise money. So I just picked up my bag and did what I know how to do best, which is head to VI and try to get a project and get some money and go back to working on the same idea. So I got the money back, then used the money to continue building software for wallets, integrating with providers. I'd go to like InterSwitch, I'd ask for APIs. I'd say, don't worry, our integrations guy is going to consume this very quickly. And InterSwitch didn't know I was the integration guy. So
you were integration, you were everything.
So I just do that, and up until like late 2018, 2017, when I met Yelibade Mosi at the coffee shop investor.
Great guy.
And he was like, I'm always seeing you here. Whatever it is you're working on, I want to invest in it. And I was like,
I have that story though, but yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah.
So I was like, wow, okay. So I told him like it's like Monzo in the UK. And luckily Yele had been an early tester in the UK of Monzo. So he got the idea straight up. And by January, he invested in the company, January 2018. And I was able to like get a co-working space. That was where we started like getting closer, Simeon. Yeah. And I got space at the co-working space. I went back to I continued working on the project. Now I had money to like hire a few engineers to join me on the team. So we're hacking. You just see us as workstation, just like working into the night, just hacking tools together for wallets. We started getting traction, and we were running out of money because the system we had built was very card based, and cards, as you know, Simeon, is like a 24-hour cycle. So you don't get your money to the next day. It's painful. So we were running out of money, and we were, we had to like source funds here and there. Then this afternoon, one of my employers was like, what are you working on, Seth? You're always walking up and down the streets of VI. And I told him, oh, yeah, I'm trying to build out wallets. And it's like, oh, we can invest in you. And my previous employers invested in the company, and the landlord where we're working at also invested in the company. Then one of our industry egmonts also like came in and was like, you know what, I want to invest in whatever it is you're working on. and we started growing the company. I started learning a lot about being a manager. Because up until this while I'd been like a consultant, senior engineer, but never really like managed like people. Uh, so I also started learning a lot about fundraising and how to, do marketing, product marketing, the cheap tools. Because again, I hadn't raised a lot of money. It was just like at this time it was around 200K in total. So we got into we continued hacking. Luckily, and that's the thing about like entrepreneurship. I feel like lots of the time founders underestimate the impact of luck. Like I really get very lucky. And for us, we rolled out a product, a virtual dollar card product, with help with our partners. Then we're working with Flutterwave, and mobile money agents discovered our product. They were using it for Facebook payments. They're using it to pay for ads in their communities. And they started telling each other about us. And they were using our products, small transactions on the dollar card, then a lot of transactions on the transfer side. They were using us to help people do cash out transactions, transfer transactions. And before you knew it, we were doing like, 20 million a month, 30 million a month. This was volumes that we didn't even know we could do. Um, so before I launched, I'd been applying to Y Combinator, uh, because I just like if there's a lot of hackers somewhere, that feels like somewhere I could be as well because those people speak my language a little bit. So I'd applied twice before that. So because of product progress and traction, in late 2018, we got into Y Combinator.
Yeah, that meant I cried a lot. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and to be honest, the growth we had in 2018 was it also came at a huge price. We didn't know anything about building a company, and that's just growth. We didn't know how to like manage people. We were incurring a lot of technical debt. We were incurring a lot of management debt. We were incurring a lot of stuff. So it was when we got into Y Combinator that the whole secret that we've been hiding just came out, and we were like, "Guys, you don't know what the fuck you're doing." Sorry, I crossed. So, we went back to the drawing board. YC was like, "How do you turn this to like $1 billion company kind of thing?" And we were like, "Oh, it's going to be hard on the consumer side." And that was the same year that Opera Software bought a mobile money license in Nigeria to rebrand as OPay. So there was like tons of competition on the consumer side, and we had to go back to the drawing board and say, "Wait, can we really win here this way, or do we need to re-strategize? Do we need to like go back to the drawing board?" Um, so we started discovering a trend amongst some of our elite customers. When I say elite customers, these are guys that just move a lot of volumes, and we realized that they were business owners. They were using us to pay employee salaries. They were using us to pay for uh, hard. They were using us to pay for Uber trips, Airbnb when they travel. So we were like, how about we structure this for businesses? And the businesses can use this to pay their employees. And we can, use one stone to kill two birds. That we don't have to spend money on marketing. So that's the long and short of story of how we got here. It's
The truth of the matter is, why am I not interjecting? Because I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot from what you're doing. We learn from each other every single day. Guys, listen to this. John just said something, and I'm going to quote him. You really need to focus on what the customers are saying, what the business is saying. You don't even need to know anything. John didn't even know what business was about or how to make money, or how he was just breaking it every day. Like, what's the next thing? How do we reach the next level? How do we reach the next level? How do we reach them? So guys, you listen to your customers. What are your customers saying? You might build one thing and it's actually for another thing. So you need to focus on your customers. And I mean, John, that's a powerful one. That's really a powerful one. So what has the journey been like? What is one thing that you would tell an entrepreneur out there? Like, what is that one thing that changed everything for you?
right. I think it was. The more I think about it, I think it was what you just mentioned, which is just talking to customers. I think you can't go wrong. There's no entrepreneur in the world that can go wrong by just talking to customers, because they kind of already know what they want. When people wake up, it's an analogy like this. When people wake up, they have problems unconsciously. so many problems, you are so good at solving them. Like you don't think of where you buy fuel near your house. You just go and buy fuel. That's a problem. You don't think of where you buy airtime. You just buy airtime. So when you talk to your customers, you kind of know how they behave, and you can just chip in your solution there because they're not waking up thinking of your solution. They're just like living their lives. So that's something that helps. Then also persistence. I feel like if I had like stepped back after that first 4 days, because it was a lot of money, and that was all my money, you know. So I feel like if I had stepped back after that first day, so many like thousands of people that use us to pay online every day or use us to transfer money from one place to another, they won't be able to do so. Then the really amazing people that work at wallets wouldn't work at wallets. So I feel like talking to your customers and being really persistent on the journey. It's hard. I feel like entrepreneurship. I try to tell guys like Simeon that you guys didn't tell us the newbies that this was how hard this was. Because it's so hard. It's so
Yeah,
hard.
I've done this for over
Yeah.
3 years. It is super hard. It is. I mean, people. I was working. I was working down my street in Lagos the other day, and somebody looks at me and says, "Dude, go back and use your car." And I'm like, "Guy, I don't tire to drive car. Like, I just need to walk and just get this thing out of my head. Like, my head is busting open. You don't even understand where the half of it. So a lot of people think it is really very easy, and they see other people make it, and they say, I just had wallet just raised 500K. I just had wallet just raised 1 million. We can do it. But it is very difficult. It is super difficult to actually like raise a company in Africa where you actually have to build everything yourself. I tell you, it's hard. You guys in payments or still in payments, you really scare me because I was hit by 17 million. I mean, I keep saying it every day. I was hit by 17 million naira fraud. I couldn't face my investors. Like I couldn't. So when people tell me about fraud and how we should be lenient to fraudsters, I'm like, these guys are destroying what we're trying to build. So I mean, I feel you. I feel you. I mean, I feel you a lot, and this is really hard. So I mean, I want to take it from. If you have questions for John, please push your questions. Like I say, I'm going to be dropping this video on YouTube, so you could always watch. If you're not live right now, you can always watch. You can watch it. It's going to be live on YouTube in the next 1 hour after the program airs, and it's going to be boosted. So you're going to be watching it and learning from African greats like John. Okay, John is an amazing guy. He's an amazing guy. You really need to like get close to him and know him.
It's love coming from you.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy. He's my friend. He's not going to stop being my friend. Even if he tries, it won't happen. So he's an amazing guy. So if you have questions, please shoot our way. And John will be happy to answer your questions. If you want to get into fintech, I mean, shoot your questions. If you have questions, he's built lovely products, fraud detection products. If you know Alert very well, that was John's footprint. If you know, there's a lot of products you would see John's hand in. You would definitely, when you look at this code, you say, this is John that built this thing. So John has built a lot of products in the past, and he's just not a showboat boy. A showboat boy that came to become, an African giant. So please shoot your questions, and I'll take your questions. John, so we were having issues already. Then COVID hits. Then it's like, hey, we need to fire all our staff. We don't even have money coming in, and the thing is like it seems like 2020 is not going away. For some people, that's been wonderful because you can pivot easily. How did you think about pivoting? Like for us, it was great because I mean, I'm going to tell you, in March we had an uprise in transaction volume. We did a lot of transactions in billions, and it was like everybody was rushing to get one product or the other, and merchants were getting a lot of transactions. But then it dipped because nobody was doing anything, and you get to a crossroads. Do you shut down? Do you hire? Do you pivot? What was it like for you? How did you? I know it became good for you, but did you think, hey, it's a good omen for us that we have COVID, or how do we pivot? How do we make this work for us?
Right. So the way I've always seen like challenges is like learning opportunity. So I'll give you an example. I've lost like really good members of the team at the time when I needed them the most. I have lost like money to fraudsters, even after we had learned a lot about fraud. We lost money to like internal fraud. I once raised a lot of money and lost it in like a week. I almost cried to fraud. So the way I see it is, pi- something I read like I think a couple of years back. Like be very like fixed on your goals, like what you want to get done. But how to get it done is okay. It's okay to be flexible. Uh, to be honest, like if wallet hadn't worked as a like consumer facing product, you probably see it in someone's bank app or someone's microfinance bank app. Struggle one way or the other. You'll have gotten it there. So that's the way I see it. Just like flexible tactic. Um, and to be honest, it's also being upfront with people. I started something recently where I just tell people how much money we have left in the bank and how long we have, with the team. And I think that that's really helpful because now they pity you and they work even harder. Your colleagues work even harder. But also, like, I also think one thing that helps is trusting people that you guys can get out of tough situations together.
Mhm.
Um, I lost like a really important business partner sometime last year. And what happened was, the day he left, I just like called the team together and said, you know what, I'm going to be needing you guys a little bit more now. And what all of them said was, okay, we got you, John, we're with you. And that's the kind of relationship you want to like foster with your employees. So it's okay to pivot. I think I've done pivots like 3 times at Wallets, and each time it's always been painful because, as Benoro would say, until a line of code is written, every every decision is kind of uh, emotional after a line of code has been written, because you've seen engineers, you've seen yourself work on this product, you've kind of imagined this vision of the world where this product exists, and now you have to shut down that version of the world to adopt realities, and it's hard, and like it's like saying the dream you just had won't come true, and like you have to deal with it. So I think it's just like swallowing it. Okay, this has happened, learning opportunity, where did I go wrong? And that's where self audit helps me. So personally, I, everything that goes wrong at Wallet is my fault. Like that's as a rule of thumb. It's my fault. Like 100%, 100% is my fault. And that way, that kind of helps me get better because I just look at myself and say, what could I have done better? Even if it's like a team member's fault. How did this team member get here? Did we not train this person? How did we hire this person? And did we like spend enough time hiring this person? So the moment you start doing that self audit, it kind of gives you clarity on how to go forward. So at some extent, you get better, even though it's not your fault, even though it's like coincidence. You just get better by yourself. Yeah, that's what I say.
Okay, cool. There's a private question. Somebody said he doesn't want his name to be shown. So he says, John says that he had luck with investors. A lot of people invested in him right off the get-go. What did you think? Okay, so this is a direct question to John. John, what do you think made people really invest in you very early on?
Right. So don't forget, like I spent like a year just trying to figure out how to talk to investors. I once went to like a very popular firm's office in Lagos here, and they told him that that's definitely never ever work. Like, and Paystack was probably doing like the same volumes that probably a tenth of the volumes that we're doing now, and they're like, see, if Paystack doesn't kill you, Flutterwave will kill you. If Flutterwave doesn't kill you, the banks will kill you. In fact, the guy was like, I can name 10 firms in Nigeria that will kill you right now. And that day, that was probably the most depressing thing anyone ever said to me because I was like, why do you have to be so mean in giving feedback? But again, self audit, I was like, maybe this guy has something to say. Maybe there's something I'm doing about the storytelling. So I don't think I was lucky with raising money. Uh, I also think personal relationships came in like much later after I had failed like for like a year to raise money. So like working at the coffee shop, being seen constantly at the coffee shop, kind of signal some sort of confidence that this guy probably knows what he's doing. I had built software for my employers, so they invested in me. And it was like 4 months after working at the co-working space that the landlord was like, you know what, I like what these guys are doing, and he uses our products. So it's like, I'm just going to invest in these guys. So it's kind of a little bit of, you have to earn it. Like you always have to earn it with
Cool.
raising capital. And I feel like, and this is where my own self audit also came through. Like, you can't really go into a conversation with a stranger that you don't know and expect to walk away with a check. It took a while for me to realize that it's hard. Raising money is like a relationship, it's like going on a date with someone. The guy is looking for a reason not to date you. And you too, you're looking for a reason to like, hey, I'm the attractive guy here. So it takes a while. There's also a little bit of luck there. And I'll tell you an example of demo day. Like on demo day at Y Combinator, you just walk up to a partner and say, hey, are you investing? And it's like, yes, that's luck. Okay, you just, okay, give me money.
Trust me, I agree. I've seen that happen before.
That's luck. So there are a few occurrences where there's luck, but getting to Y Combinator, getting to this stage where you actually qualify for luck, you have to do a lot of like, relationship building.
Great. John, this is a personal plea. So we have a lot of upcoming guys. I mean, I got the list from Google yesterday on the new Launchpad, Google for Startups, startups, and I realized that there's something missing, which is mentorship. If you had mentorship the way a lot of people, the way you know today, I mean, if how will I put it, if you know what you know today, you probably be better off doing what you're doing today. So would you be happy to actually help mentor other entrepreneurs, majorly in the fintech space?
Yes, definitely. I'd love to. We do something of sorts today with our APIs, and I just talk to developers. It's so smart. It's like talking to a younger self or a little bit more naive self. So it's like you just learn a lot from them as well, and you just share a little bit about your own experiences with them. It's like it's fun because you get to like talk to like your past self.
Cool. So I'm going to put John on the spot. So if you want to hit John, just hit me up and I'll do a connection. Like he should be on your network lists of friends that you should have if you're starting up a business in Africa. We're going to be boosting this, like I said, and this is supposed to go across Africa because there are a lot of lovely guys like this that have done it. They've been there, they've done that, they've made it work. John also helps you with your YC application. So if you have YC applications and you really think you're good enough to get into YC, I'll be happy to connect you with John so that he can help you review your application and stuff like that. John, thanks very much. You've been a blessing to Africa. You've been a blessing to me. You've been a blessing to Nigeria. Okay, there's a question. Why is everybody hiding from pushing their questions live? Okay, so there's a question, John. Do you think people invested in you, or did they invest in wallets?
So I think for early stage companies, it's a little bit more of the founder. If you're like a public company where your financials are like public and people can see, yes, they are just invested in the company. You invest in Nike now, you invest in Nike, not for a minute. But at early stage, probably before you go public, you're probably investing in the fund.
Okay, cool. So you get that. Get all your acts together, get all your connections, network, build stuff, and let people know about it so that they can help you grow. So because investors will invest in you, the founder. Thank you very much, John. If you don't have any questions for John, I'd like to let him go so that he doesn't keep. Do you have a final word for entrepreneurs out there? Having seen what you've gone through, the fraud that you hit, the depression that you hit at some point because of the things that are happening. Do you have anything you have to tell upcoming entrepreneurs? Just 2 sentences.
So I'll leave with something James Clear said. He said entrepreneurship is a personal development journey. Disguised as like a making venture. Keep hacking. You're just developing yourself at the end of the day. It's you.
Cool.
Yeah.
So keep hacking. You're just developing yourself. It is you. Thanks for coming to the studios. I hope if I call you next time, you'll be available to talk to us. Thanks for making today. You've made my day today. Thank you very much, John. God bless you.
You're welcome, boss.
So now that was John Oke, the CEO and founder at wallet.ng. He talked about his journey and what he has done in building what he has today. Like I said earlier, we're building a lot of value on our end, and we're launching a lot of solutions that would help people grow their businesses. With that in mind, I'm bringing the show today to an end. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, connect with simeon@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to answer you. Friday, we have a lovely guest coming to the studio. Her name is Uloma Obichere. She is the CEO at Cat Trollers. Something lovely she's doing, and she's making a lot of noise, a lot of money, a lot of successes. And she's also been through that part before. So join us on Friday, and you'll learn this. Apart from that, I told you, the new Thank You Cash app is live. You can go to Thank You Cash. You can go to iOS store and Play Store. That's my points. I just earned 1,399 just buying different things, topping up my airtime, doing different things, and also buying different stuff that is delivered to my apartment. So we're going to be launching a lot of this soon, and I'm going to be telling you more about it. So watch out. Connect with me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. It's Simeon Ononobi, and you'll be able to get a lot of things that we're doing across Africa, across Nigeria, and connect with me. So till we meet next time, if you don't have any other questions for me, I'll be happy to say ciao.
Look around you. Where you are right now, as you're watching this, look around your house. There are tools you have you're not using that can actually fetch you a whole lot of funds.
Forget about what people are saying. Don't listen to what people are saying. What people say about you or think about you is none of your business.
Many entrepreneurs want to build a business at the same time feed from the business. It cannot work. In Lagos,
But you just get to do something. Stop waiting for manna to fall from heaven.
never you at any point think you have 100% strength. It's not possible. So as a leader, you focus on your strength 100%, then your weakness, you get someone to fill it in. Now, the person you are bringing in, ensure that the person's weakness is your strength.
You have to come with something to the table. So what are you coming with as a woman? What are you bringing? Is it your intellect? Is it your beauty? We all know that beauty doesn't help anybody. If not, I'll be where Dangote is today.
Please, if you are listening to me, don't try and sell what is not sellable if you don't have the funds to push it.
Thank you for connecting with Simeon Ononobi today. Live sessions hold every Tuesday and Friday at 5 p.m. Please turn on post notifications for live updates.